Imagine you wake up just 3 years from now and you realize that the businesses you laughed at, ignored, or thought were too small quietly made people you know wealthy while you were busy chasing ideas that looked impressive but never paid. That moment is coming from many Africans, not because opportunities don't exist, but because the real money is hiding in places nobody brags about. The truth is, wealth in Africa is not built by the loudest people, the most visible businesses, or the ones that trend on social media. It's built by people who have nothing to brag about. Here is something most people never stop to think about. Economies are not powered by hype. They are powered by ordinary businesses doing essential things at scale. The people who quietly get rich on this continent understand this deeply. Now, my name is Tim, the leader of the Wealth Team. On this channel, we're on a mission to make thousands of Africans millionaires before the next 1 year. Subscribe and be a part of this journey to have the chance of being among the thousands. Today, I'm pulling back the curtain on specific businesses that nobody brags about at dinner parties, but are secretly the most profitable engines in the 2026 African economy. These are recession-proof gold mines that most people are too proud to touch, meaning the competition for you is practically zero. We are going beyond the surface to look at raw numbers, the hidden demand, and why business number 3 is currently making more millionaires in the diaspora than almost any other export. So before we begin, make sure you watch this video to the end, because those who change their stories are not those who start a thing, it's those who end it. And one more thing, if number 9 doesn't work for you, number 5 might be the one to change your story, or number 3, or number 2. So let's begin our countdown with number 9, which is charcoal briquette production from agricultural waste. In many African cities, traditional charcoal dealers are stigmatized, seen as soot-covered laborers hustling in dusty markets. But as of 2026, this overlooked business is quietly becoming a high-profit, eco-friendly venture. Governments across the continent are cracking down on unsustainable wood charcoal. Kenya, Nigeria, South Africa, and others are now imposing heavy taxes, logging limits, and strict environmental rules. Traditional production is increasingly illegal and expensive, yet millions of households, restaurants, poultry farms, and small industries still rely on charcoal daily, creating a massive supply gap for smart entrepreneurs like you. The game changer here is producing premium briquettes from agricultural wastes like rice husk, corn cobs, coconut shells, and sawdust, materials factories and farms often discard or burn openly. These are free or extremely cheap, giving you a huge cost advantage over competitors stuck with regulated wood. The production process is a simple 3-step flow. First is carbonization. You try the waste in low oxygen kilns to create an energy-dense powder. Second is milling and binding. You grind that char into fine powder and mix it with cheap local binder like cassava starch. Finally, you move to pressing, using a screw extruder or manual press to form dense uniform briquettes that burn hotter, longer, and cleaner than traditional charcoal. A small setup costs between $1,500 and $2,000. When you are done producing your charcoal, position it as a green premium product, clean for homes, efficient for poultry farmers, and low ash for restaurants. By turning waste into cash and cutting pollution, you flip social stigma into generational wealth. Next is number 8, which is last mile institutional supplying, which I call the silent bridge to institutional wealth. Wealth Team. Most people see supplying as a business for the elite with massive warehouses and millions of dollars in stock. But the secret to this business in Africa is the last mile. Institutional supplying is about being the bridge between the manufacturers and the schools, hospitals, and hotels that need essentials every single day. What people don't realize is that these institutions hate dealing with 10 different vendors. They are desperate for one reliable partner who can be you, who handles the logistics of the small things. Some of the most successful suppliers I know started with no warehouses, no fleet of trucks, and zero inventory, just a phone and determination. They secure a request for quote, went to wholesalers to negotiate a bulk discount, and deliver that same day using hired vehicles. Here is the secret. You don't need the capital, you just need to control the liability. Africa today is experiencing a boom in private institutions that are struggling to source basic goods consistently. And that's the opening for you. You can start a micro supplying firm with as little as $300 to $1,000. These institutions often pay a premium for consistency and credit terms. This means that money is already there. They are just waiting for someone to take the logistical headache away. When you are the one who ensures the hospital never runs out of gloves or the school never runs out of paper, you become an indispensable part of their balance sheet. Now to number 7, which is health tech accessory reselling, which I call the diagnostic gold mine. This involves the distribution of essential diagnostic hardware like digital blood pressure monitors, infrared thermometers, and pulse oximeters directly to homes and private clinics that lack modern equipment. Africa's middle class is expanding, and with that growth comes a new obsession with longevity. People are no longer waiting until they are sick to visit a hospital. They want to monitor their vitals from their living rooms. But here's the problem. If you walk into any local pharmacy, you will see digital blood pressure monitors and glucose meters with price tags that are frankly insulting. The reality is that these devices are manufactured globally for a fraction of what we pay here. Now imagine this. If you have individuals with no medical backgrounds owning hospitals, it's clear that anyone seeing this gap can step in with nothing but a small savings account and a direct line to certified manufacturers. If I'm starting this tomorrow, I won't need a shop at first. I will start with WhatsApp and Facebook to reach families and small clinics who are tired of being overcharged. The strategy here is simple. You are providing a bridge to affordable survival. With lifestyle and hereditary diseases like hypertension and diabetes on the rise, home monitoring has shifted from a luxury to a daily requirement. You can enter this market with as little as $500 to $2,000, and because the markup in traditional retail is so inflated, your margins can easily hit 200%. Then to number 6, where we have essential oil extraction. Now, if you walk into a high-end department store, you will see tiny 10mm bottles of lavender, frankincense, or sandalwood oil selling for $30, $50, or even $100. That is oil extraction. This isn't farming. This is value addition. You are taking raw plant matter, often materials that farmers consider waste or byproducts, and putting them through a steam distillation unit. It takes about 250 pounds of lavender to make just 1 pound of essential oil. That sounds a lot, right? But the raw lavender might cost you very little, while the concentrated oil is one of the most expensive liquids on the planet by volume. For decades, global industries have relied on these oils for fragrances, cosmetics, and wellness products. You can start a micro extraction plant with $1,500 to $5,000. But here's the real jackpot. Africa currently exports the raw plants for pennies, but imports the finished oils for millions. Do you see the opportunity? The materials you need are already lying right in front of you, growing wild or as agricultural leftovers. The beauty of this business is the multi-stream revenue. You sell the high-grade oil to perfume houses. You sell the hydrosol, that's the floral water left over, to skincare brands as toners, and you sell the dried mulch back to farmers as organic fertilizers. Nothing is wasted and every drop is profit. Now we are at the top 5. If you are still here, pat yourself on the back and type silent millionaire loading. Now to number 5, which is organic fertilizer production. Farmers are always looking for cheap, effective fertilizer. And guess what? You can make it from waste, food scraps, animal manure, or even used coffee grounds. Global food prices are skyrocketing, and the biggest cost for farmers is fertilizer. Chemical fertilizers are becoming too expensive and more regulated. This has created a massive vacuum for organic fertilizer. You are looking for input waste. This can be chicken litter from poultry farms, sawdust from timber mills, or food waste from urban markets. To the owners of that waste, it's a liability. Through composting vermiculture using worms or microbial fermentation, you turn that liability into a high nitrogen nutrient-dense product that farmers crave. You can start a micro-fertilizer plant with as little as $1,000 to $3,000. Then we move to number 4, which is bulk laundry for institutions. Forget the corner dry cleaner fighting for $10 from picky working customers. The real wealth is in institutional bulk laundry, a logistics-heavy business of volume and contracts. Now in 2026, Africa's exploding hospitality and healthcare sectors are drowning in mountain ranges of dirty linens, and they are desperate to outsource this headache. The secret to scaling is the price per kilogram model. Instead of hand-pressing individual shirts, use high-capacity industrial washers and flat-work ironers that dry and press bedsheets in seconds. You are trading slow manual labor for high-speed mechanical efficiency. To start without $1 million, adopt the micro-institutional strategy. That's by targeting niches like the mid-tier Airbnb shortlets or private maternity wards. That's clients too big for home washers but too small for giant firms. Set up a warehouse with 3 25-kilogram industrial washers and 2 high-speed dryers. Your winning pitch is the 12-hour turnaround. I pick up at 6 in the evening and return everything sanitized, folded and crisp by 6 the next morning. The financial power of this business lies in the recurring contract. Unlike retail where you hunt for new sales daily, one medium-sized hotel with 50 rooms can provide 200 kilograms of laundry daily. At just $1 per kilogram, that single client is worth $6,000 a month. Secure just 5 of these and you're running a $30,000 monthly operation while the status seekers are still chasing apps. Now we've reached number 3, the one I told you to watch out for. Bulk food processing, which I call the blueprints of the flour empire. Wealth team. Most people see food as farming, but those who make the real money from this without bragging see it as processing. In the African agricultural landscape, there is a painful paradox we see every single year. Farmers working themselves to the bone only to watch 40% of their harvest rot in the sun because they cannot get it to the market in time. Most people believe that the way to make money in the food is to own the land and plant the seeds. But farming is high risk. You are at the mercy of the weather, pests, and fluctuating market prices. The real consistent wealth is found in the middle, that's in bulk food processing. This is the business of taking raw perishable produce and turning it into stable shelf-ready ingredients. It's the art of stopping the clock on spoilage. And in 2026, the person who can preserve food is the person who controls the economy. It's as simple as that. But the irony is this, nobody brags about owning a spice mill or commercial dehydration unit. But while the farmer is panicking because his tomatoes will rot in 3 days, the processor is calm because he has turned those same tomatoes into powder that lasts for 20 years. To start this business without a massive factory, you must focus on the value add model. You don't need to be a brand name supermarket product on day one. Instead, you target the business-to-business market. Look at high-demand, high-turnover staples like ginger, garlic, onions, or even cassava. During the peak harvest season, these items are dirt cheap because the market is flooded. Now this is your buying window. You buy in bulk when the price is at its lowest and you process it immediately. The strategy is very simple. Dehydration and milling. By using a commercial-grade food dehydrator, you remove the moisture that causes decay. Then using a high-speed hammer mill, you grind that dried produce into a fine concentrated powder. You are turning a basket of ginger that sells for $5 into 10 jars of premium ginger powder that sell for $5 each. You have effectively quintupled your money just by changing the form of the product. The financial genius of bulk processing is found in the out-of-season arbitrage. Because your product is shelf-stable, you can wait until the fresh harvest is gone and the market prices skyrocket. Then to number 2, which is something this channel never gets tired of talking about, but with a little twist this time around: waste collection and recycling. Forget the skyscrapers, the real gold is in what they throw away. In 2026, e-waste is the most profitable dirty business in Africa because a ton of high-grade cycled boards contain up to 100 times more gold than a ton of raw gold ore. Does that make sense to you? Let me know in the comment. Now the juice lies in the corporate clean-out model. Banks, law firms, and government agencies have storerooms filled with dead tech. That's servers, routers, and laptops they are terrified to discard due to data risk. Now, as a member of the wealth team, you don't approach them as a scrap dealer. You are a data security and disposal partner. You offer to haul it away for free in exchange for a certificate of secure destruction. By drilling a hole through their hard drives to protect their data, you acquire high-value ore for the price of a morning's labor. The profit is in the strip and sort. A dead computer sold as a unit is worth maybe $5, but stripped down and separated into high-grade motherboards, copper wiring, and aluminum heat sinks, that same unit is worth $20. In recycling, the one who sorts is the one who keeps the 400% margin. Now let's do some math. Collecting just 100 dead laptops a week can be a gold mine. High-grade motherboards sell to international exporters for $15 to $25 per kilogram. Combine that with copper and aluminum resale, and a modest warehouse operation can generate $10,000 to $15,000 in monthly profit if you do everything right and you're in a very large city like Lagos or Nairobi. And finally, at number 1, the ugliest, most disgusting, and arguably the most profitable business on this list: animal bone and hoof processing. Most people walk past an abattoir and see waste, meat hauled away, while bones, hoofs, and horns pile up in heaps or get dumped in pits. The smell, the mess is visceral and society turns away. But in 2026 Africa, these waste byproducts are high-demand raw materials feeding 3 separate industries. First, agriculture. Bones are crushed into bone meal, an incredibly high phosphorus fertilizer and a key ingredient in animal feed. Second, pharmaceuticals. Hooves and horns are processed into keratin and gelatin, used for pill capsules and medical coatings. Thought manufacturing. Bone char is used in the refining of sugar and the creation of specialized ceramics. Competition here is near zero because of the stigma of the odor and dirty work combined with the need for specialized grinding equipment. All this force people away even when the raw materials are often free or low cost at abattoirs where they are seen as disposable headaches. In this industry, while small setups crush bones into mills for local sales, larger setups scale to processing plants for exports or bulk contracts. In countries like Nigeria and Kenya, bone meal demand drives profitable operations feeding poultry and fish farms. You can start easily by partnering with local slaughterhouses for collection. Invest in a grinder or crusher for $800 to $2,000, a boiler for cleaning and bags. Get your permits, process the materials, and focus your sales on the B2B market, animal feed producers and fertilizer distributors. You will notice a theme across all these 9 businesses. They all involve problems. In a world obsessed with passive income and easy wins, the real wealth is being built by people who are willing to solve the difficult, messy, and ugly problems of the world. If you want to make $1 million, stop looking for hack. Start looking for a liability. Something people want to get rid of. Something that smells. Something that is incredibly inconvenient, and find a way of turning it into a resource. If this video turned the way you look at trash in your city, hit that like button. It tells the algorithm that we need more real business content on this platform. And if you are ready to actually build something this year, subscribe to this channel and comment. Now let's get to work.